Welcome to the Fifth One Show. Today is June 5th. Nothing heard here is financial advice. Please exercise respect when talking with others. Please raise your hand to talk in the X Spaces. Hopefully this will be an interactive space. Our mission is to have this X Spaces evolve into something beneficial for the entire Harmonauts community, made by the Harmonauts community. The initial format, we've posted some potential topics in this Google document. Tenacious DeFi will read through all of the posted topics, ask for feedback from the speakers, hopefully move into some organic and constructive conversation. At any point, people can request to move on to another topic or elaborate on the topic at hand. Thanks everyone for tuning in today and or listening in the future. Lastly, there's another Harmonaut now, but there's 4 Harmonauts that can modify this Google document. This is just kind of recycled over and over. So, edit things and add and remove the topics, and some stuff stays on. But anyway, we have myself, Tenacious DeFi, Peace and Love, DOP, and Selvi can all modify this Google document. Please feel free to reach out to any of us if you'd like to get on this Google document or make modifications. Basic guidelines and development for One Show X Spaces. Please, already read that. This won't be so much like ask the core team. It'll be more like ask the community, engage with the community. One show will last approximately 2 hours if we have enough topics. If you have an important topic and you can't stay for the entire X Spaces, please make it known at the beginning of the show. So let's go through the topics real quick. One, this is recurring. I think it's important though, but we can get there whenever. Explain the difference between burning tokens via smart contract and sending tokens to the dead wallet. DeFi updates. Harmony One bot updates. There's a link there. Harmony One DAO updates. Harmonauts DAO, the LBI, and LBI statistics of goals accomplished, and Crypto Land DAO successful launch. 4, how is Harmony trying to help projects build and launch on Harmony One? What makes some projects worthy / not worthy of repost on the main X account? We're working on that. 5, who made the current Harmony One Explorer? 6, when swap.one on CoinGecko? Like, what are some of the metrics that maybe need to be met or achieved, or are we there now to have it not be like listed as unknown on Dex Screener? Next, community partnerships. Harmony Indonesia X CoinFest Asia is coming up. 8, I had a question. Is swap.harmony1 the exact same as swap.country? Like the security and all that, is that all exactly the same, just different UI or different front end? Number 9, ChainSpot. There's a link there. And number 10, R1 Ambassadors Grant Proposal. We'll have a presentation by Affirmation Matt L. Also, recovery alternatives or modifications. Peace and Love has an idea there. And last I put on there, I guess what Polymorpher / Modulo Burner has been building an exchange there with I put a link there, and I think there's also a .country link. So that's why I think it's important that people can start using the Google document. But I kind of had a little initial format here. I wanted to have Matt Barrett kind of give us a state of recovery if he could, and I wanted to just do a real quick summary of the LBI from the Harmonauts DAO, and hopefully we could go into the grant proposal. So Matt Barrett, I'll hand it over to you, sir.
Alrighty. Thank you, Eric. And thank you, everybody, for showing up. Thank you, Eric, for doing these. So I'm just going to jump into the recovery updates on the top. So round 20 started May 17th. And on the recovery exchange, we had about $150,000. To date, in this round, we have exchanged 2/3 of the funds, so approximately $100,000. We currently have $54,000 remaining, so people were able to take depegged assets and exchange them for $1 USD. So that's the new bridge token. The max refund that is able to be exchanged is $1,800. On May 7th, that's going to expand to $2,600. So that's the top of the line updates. With regards to other initiatives, so we are very happy and have the pleasure of welcoming 2 new ambassadors to the R1 Ambassador Program, and that is Affirmation and Meta One class. So everybody knows Affirmation. Affirmation is a phenomenal presence in the Harmony community, great at community building, at marketing. So we're excited to have him on board and to use his skill sets in building some of our initiatives and projects in the future. And then Meta One class, Francis. Francis is a blockchain developer, a smart contract developer. So we've had a lot of amazing ideas from the beginning of and the inception of Recovery One. And we were always looking for a way to continue to expand them, right? That was the core idea of Recovery One. It's to be a community-led initiative and to take action. And only with more community members taking action, getting involved, has that been able to grow and thrive. And we're now at a place where we have a thriving team of marketers, developers, blockchain developers, smart contract developers, the graphics designers, analysts. So we're now at the point where we can go into warp speed and into action. So the next thing, and probably a little bit later on in today's meeting, we're going to have Affirmation talk about our newly published version 2 ambassador grant expansion proposal, and we just posted that on the Talk forum, so everybody can come take a look at it. We welcome your feedback. We are proposing a new, innovative way of funding projects, and we want to actually be the guide. So, if everyone could take a look, if you're listening to this, go into Harmony Talk forum, into community, and look at the new ambassador funding proposal. We are requesting to fund a project and to build protocols, projects, initiatives, write articles, lead events, and we are asking for the Harmony Foundation to delegate to a new validator that we will create, and from those staking rewards, we will fund our program. So everybody take a look at it. We want this to be an initiative, a framework that Harmony can use to make sure projects are accountable, that they are also supporting the network's growth, and also delivering on milestones. So we're super excited about that recent update. We really thank everybody's feedback. Peace and Love Validator has given us a lot of good constructive feedback, especially around past funding processes. So by having a validator, you can actually plan out long term with expectations of rewards and stakings and being able to use them. So we're super excited. Everybody, if you can, take a look. And then, like I said, Affirmation will actually dive into some more details shortly. But Derek, that's it for me.
Fantastic, as always. Also, the Talk.Harmony One proposal is posted at the top of the space if you're on this call.
Great.
And if you're listening to it afterwards, it's in the comment on my pinned post. Next, I just wanted to talk about the LBI, and then we can just kind of, then I'll hand it over to Matthew Lopez. So the LBI is a liquid burn initiative. It started through the Harmonauts DAO and Community DAO. Since we all merged, we merged assets and discords and everything for now. Anyway, we went from January through June. What did it accomplish? We basically got 60,000 hogs out of the Harmonauts multisig into circulation. That's 7.5% of the supply, that's pretty impressive. We were able to burn a little over 8,000 depegged USDC. Each alpha slot holder that contributed at the beginning earned 10% returns average. And we were also able to raise $2,500 in LPs with the hog and pegged USDC, which is on swap.harmony.one. And lastly, I just wanted to thank all of the Harmonauts that trusted me and participated in this recovery initiative. We have Peace and Love contributed, Bones, Affirmation, might be other people, but there's all those people. There's more people, but those are people that are on the call. I just appreciate you guys. Let me borrow the funds and for the cause of the network and the coin and burning some depegged assets. So that's the basic summary there. So I think it's totally positive, and even with the market going up and down and sideways, we were able to make a difference, and totally appreciate that. So that's kind of the Dow corner of the show. With that, I'm just going to hand it over to Affirmation, and he's going to kind of break down our Recovery One grant proposal, and we'll just kind of see where the space goes after that. Thanks, Matt.
All right, yeah, man. I just want to thank Matt Barrett for that introduction. Appreciate it. I'm glad to be part of the R1 Ambassador program as well. By the way, can everybody hear me? Thumbs up. Just making sure I got a mic on here. Good, good. Yeah, so without any further ado, I'll jump right into the grant proposal. So I'm kind of excited to actually be able to present this on the one show here. So I'm fired up about this opportunity to take Harmony One's protocol and community engagement to the next level. The intent is to expand the R1 Ambassador program since its inception. I think the R1 Ambassador program, correct me if I'm wrong, was sometime maybe October 2022, 21. When was it, Matt?
October 23.
October 23. Oh, I'm actually thinking of Recovery One. I'm sorry. Definitely. Recovery One's about October of 21. What is it? 22?
Around September 22.
September of 22. So yeah, obviously it's kind of an expansion of the Recovery One Recovery One program as well. So anyway, yeah. So October 2023, the R1 Ambassador program was founded. We see a lot of accomplishments since then. So why do we want to expand the R1 Ambassador program? Because Harmony's community engagement has hit some kind of setbacks, which we've all seen. So we want to bring a different dimension to this, essentially, by marketing and leading new initiatives. So by expanding this R1 Ambassador program, it addresses these gaps head on, aiming to ramp up community involvement and ecosystem growth. So the vision for the R1 Ambassador program roll out in kind of several stages, what we're trying to do. So the cohort one leadership, stage one, we already kind of accomplished this with Selvi and Eric with a K. So they laid the groundwork for the first one. They are the veteran ambassadors acting as mentors now through the R1 Ambassador program. So this stage, it's set like different paradigms to take us to the next level. Essentially, there's a second stage to this, obviously, that stage two, the activation and development, basically is what we're trying to do is launch an R1 validator that Matt Barrett kind of touched on. So the intent of this is to generate sustainable revenue and ensuring accountability. So we've seen in the past, not even just the Harmony protocol, probably with all blockchains in general, there's been issues with the grant, the way grants are distributed throughout the blockchain ecosystem in general. So we're kind of aiming to set a benchmark for Web3 as a whole. So what it does is it creates an accountability aspect that if we're not living up to our expectations of what we promised within our original intent, the funds can be pulled. So personally, I think that that's a great thing. It creates a system where nobody's just taking money and running off of it like we've seen in the past before. So also what it does within the ecosystem, like we create this validator being 100% commission based, we don't compete with any other validators. So the advantage to that is there's no incentive to actually delegating to our validator other than if you're just trying to like help with the grant yourself. So, that kind of eliminates that one of the feedbacks we got within the talk forum in the past. So yeah, that's the intent with the validator itself. And then there's like a transition phase where we kind of want to refine our protocols and dApps to align with Harmony's goals. So it's seemingly at the moment that Harmony's main goal is to put DeFi at the center stage of its universe. So we're kind of gearing to launch towards that. There's a lot of talks and things that we're looking at in the background to get to that level. And then, our final phase would be like to extend the program globally. We want to hit like all the countries in the globe essentially. So um,
All the continents, all the countries would be a little bit difficult.
well, I mean, we can aim high. We can aim high. But yeah, definitely all the continents, like Matt said. So why are we taking this route? We're launching a validator, uh, like we said, to showcase our accountability and make sure the grant utilization is utilized exactly as it was originally intended to. And we're pretty transparent in what it is that we're doing. So with this funding, we plan on increasing community event participation through workshops and challenges. We want to drive Harmony Network transaction through the ambassador-led initiatives. So we have even metrics on our grant if you guys want to check these out. Our plan is to expand our active community base through strategic digital outreach. Also, there's also a plan to actually go to physical outreach. And we know we're not there at the moment, but that would be an objective as well because digital outreach is effective. But in my opinion, the physical outreach is still nothing compares to it. So face-to-face interaction is still really important in my eyes. And we want to enhance Harmony's visibility as a leading blockchain within Web3 as a whole. I mean, we want to get it back to the glory days, essentially. So we're promoting an environment that allows that allows us to create. Uh, can you hear me? Did I black out for a second?
You're good.
Sorry about that. Yeah, my computer messed up for a second. Yeah, so basically, we just want to create an environment where people are coming back to build essentially, and we want to make Harmony, the R1 ambassador, Harmony One's cornerstone for driving the blockchain back to where it was. So,
And affirmation. Let me just interject real quick. So we also want to build three major initiatives. The first initiative is going to be LP. We want to build liquidity pools to actually fill the gaps between Modulo and the recovery exchange. So we think we can come up with some creative ideas to actually, when Modulo is not burning and when recovery one is not burning, we can fill the gaps with some very creative liquidity pools to get people taking action when both burn partners are dormant. That's the first thing. The second thing, we have been talking with Harmony team about the concept of pump.fun, right? Having a launch pad that get this whole entire bull run so far has been around memes. There's been a massive expansion of memes. So we want to launch fun.country or pump.country, some type of launch pad that we can launch memes on Harmony to get Harmony into the game of memes, and also to act as a launch pad for projects. That is the second initiative. The third one is, let me take a look here. Affirmation. You see the third project that we have as well?
Yeah, I got the.
So the third one is liquid. Liquid staking. So last one show, Theo brought up some really good points about the innovation around liquid staking. So we want to pick up where Tranquil has left off, and we think there's a great opportunity to actually create some liquid staking protocols and to build off of that and create some more derivatives around there to really get DeFi going on Harmony. So those are the three initiatives. And then we also want to have a bunch of ways to have transparency into the things that we're doing. And we're going to launch a website that will have real basic boil down of our milestones and our metrics as well. Back to you, Affirmation. Just wanted to interject here.
Yeah, no, thanks for touching up on that. I was like scrambling between my notes here. I apologize for that. But yeah, definitely there's been quite a few things that we've accomplished as well. So when you look at the R1 Ambassador program, so number one, the successful onboarding of the first group. We've just onboarded the second group as well, right? And it seems like just recently, I believe, Selvi presented Harmony One in the Indonesia Crypto Exchange. Was that recently?
I think that's coming up, but I could be wrong.
I remember seeing us talk about it within the chat. But yeah, Selvi, who's actually a fireball. I don't know if you guys know Selvi. Just a lot of energy with that girl. Brings a lot of positive energy to the group as a whole. Also, the one show that was created by Eric with a K here. Just a lot of good things already coming out from this group within general, and more to come. So I feel that with the necessary resources, like we can definitely take this to a different level. Like Matt said, I feel like we all bring a different set of skills here. Eric's got the energy with hosting these spaces, which it takes a lot of energy to do these if you guys haven't done them. So he does them. He really takes his time out to organize them and really market them. So, with the marketing aspect that we have within our organization as well, plus the development side now, plus we got developers, plus different projects within here. So, yeah, without really filibustering the conversation here, there's a lot of good things going on within this organization. And if you guys really want to look at the grant proposal, as Matt Barrett mentioned, it is on the Talk Forum, loaded up in a Google Doc. So if you guys want to check it out, it's available, 100% transparent. And thanks for allowing me the opportunity to present this.
Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, we already have 3 continents, right? Indonesia, Europe, and North America, right? So we're halfway to our goal there, and I think One Bowl is going to speak about the event coming up in Indonesia later on. I thought it was I was confused on the timeline too. I don't think One Bowl has there been something that's happened already, or is it all happening in oh crap, is it all happening in like August?
Sorry.
Is the crypto event that's going on near you, is that all happening in August, or has there been something that's happened already like this month?
Yeah. This month, I will have like Ama. Ask me anything from Toko Crypto. Toko Crypto is a partnership of Binance. This is checks in Indonesia and support by Binance. And we will have some Telegram Ama Eme ask me anything on this month at 20 June.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean you're already doing like the in-person events. That's great. I mean I would like to get there too, and I think Affirmation would too. And we got lots of different ground to cover.
Yeah, and I think I will update the Coinbase Asia partnership in 30 minutes. Yeah, Eric.
13 minutes. You have to go in 13 minutes. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I will back at 7 my time.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to come back? Is that okay? That's fine with me. Okay, cool. Because that's kind of later on in the summer anyway. So awesome. We appreciate you being here. I know it's way early for you. Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I'm excited about is getting this website going and having transparency for the R1 ambassadors, accountability, and what we were working on, what we've accomplished, and what's coming next. Just to have that all out in the open, and I just think that's what's needed. So I think it's definitely some cool metrics. I think we covered that pretty well. There's lots of people that are able to speak. Does anybody want to speak up for a second? Anybody? How is everybody?
Oh, I'm doing great. Doing great.
You sound great.
You actually I got a really good mic now.
Nice.
Hi guys. I just want to say this is the first time I think I've been in this space, and I just want to give flowers to Tenacious DeFi. I guess your first name is Eric. I just found out. Anyway, thank you for inviting me to the group, and I'm still learning. Thank you for helping me with the techno part of it. I know it's a lot for you, but slowly but surely. And I'm glad to meet everyone. My name is Lotus, as you can see. But I like the projects that you are all doing. I'm a builder in Web3, been in this space for only 2 to 3 years. I stuck on Bitcoin and I built on Ethereum, but now I'm looking at one. Thank you.
We're glad to have you here, Amy, and it's been a pleasure. And hopefully, your new wallet's up and running and gas works. It's Eric with the K though. It is Eric, but it's Eric with the K, right, Matt?
Yeah,
Got it.
ERIC with a K.
Yeah. I don't.
And
You could.
affirmation, nice seeing you here. Flowers to you too.
Yeah,
What's up,
we're
Amy? How are you?
all three of us have known each other for a good year or so. So, cool. Theo, welcome. How you doing?
Doing well. Does my mic work?
Yeah, you
you
sound
sound
perfect.
crystal clear.
Yep.
Sweet. Nice to be here. Nice seeing you all.
Beautiful. All right, so we got the R1 ambassadors. Again, it is posted on the top of the space. It's posted on my pinned message underneath the One Show X Spaces invite. All right, so we're pretty much on schedule. I wanted to definitely hand it over to Peace and Love with his recovery idea, and then we'll just kind of see where the conversation leads. So, peace and love. Over to you.
Oh, thank you. Um, Glad to talk about it while we're on the recovery subject. Really all came from, I see Polymorpher had this, he message in the Discord and saying as market moves, it can be difficult to ascertain how people's interests would change following a change in the exchange rate. Simply launching around using price set by an educated guess and see what happens has proven to be inefficient and unpredictable. He's planning to launch a over-the-counter market that supports depegged assets. It's going to be OTC.country. I guess he built mid last year. In the next, he's been working on it though. That way, the exchange rate on the burner can remain low. People can offer up their depegged assets for sale over the counter at a price that they like, and part of the funds can be used to discretionarily buy those over the counter depegged assets, then burn if the price is good. The data from the sale and the buyback process would also efficiently discover the true market price for the assets. So it's like made me do some thinking after that, because I really like that idea. And because like currently the way the recovery is, it's just like an arbitrage to get the value to go up from burning the depegged assets. It's not currently really helping the victims, I don't think, as much as it could be. If exchange was made that can, I reached out to Chef Soy Sauce and can find out like all the people that had the assets before the bridge was hacked and how many they had, and allow them to use an exchange to set limit orders of what they would be willing to take for it. Because like the bridge is never going to be like fully repegged. Like the Bitcoin's never going to be a Bitcoin. ETH's never going to be an ETH. It's just going to where it was at the time of the hack. And I think this idea like addresses more of the victims and earns back trust a little better.
I think it's already.
But I do.
I think it's already. Isn't that what he released, the GM country or the GMX, or maybe Theo could talk about that? Isn't that what Polymorpher's been building? Is this two different things, or it's the same thing, Theo?
Yeah, so those are two different things. I can go
Oh,
into a little bit more
oh,
detail afterwards.
okay. I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I just thought it was the same. All right, so it's either just people think nothing's going on, but there's so much you can't keep up. So, yeah. I think I had a question here. Let's see, 1 second. So what will he set the exchange rates at? Lower than what they are now, or I mean, how does what you're talking about, peace and love, how is that gonna benefit
Okay.
people like better than it is now?
See, this will allow people that were victims of the hack to be able to go in this exchange. OpenOcean currently has a limit order function that could be forked, I'm hoping, to be able to use a limit order function on this exchange, and each person can set limit orders for what they would accept for their depegged assets, and then can go with, like, if there was so many funds per round going towards it, then like the bottom orders could be filled like up to so much, and keeping track of what each wallet burns. So that way it's gonna be like, if all the orders were like out of sight and can't be touched, then that's one thing, but it's also like telling us what people like really want for their depegged assets that were victims of the hack.
Peace, love. Can you hear me? Peace and love. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's up, bro? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to follow you. So you're what you're essentially saying is creating another. Is it safe to call it like an exchange for victims of the hack? Obviously, that they could. Uh, exactly what are they doing on the exchange? I'm just trying to follow. Peace, love. My fault, man.
Okay. A limit
Hmm.
order. It's like it allows you to set a price of what you'll sell an asset for, and unless you can sell it for that asset, the order won't go through. So, like, a limit order can just be set and forget about, and then if it gets filled, it gets filled. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And actually, OpenOcean's limit order function doesn't even tie up the tokens. Like, you could still use them if you wanted, and if the tokens weren't there when the limit order went through, it would just cancel out. So it just like allows you to set the price of what you want.
All right. So basically, what you're saying is what you're trying to find out is what people are actually trying to basically recover from their lost funds, if I'm understanding correctly. I
Exactly.
follow. Okay.
I think a good question that we should ask Polymorpher is, um, what tranches will he set the exchange? Because he's going to be matching the orders, right? Like he's going to be taking the money from the recovery multi, um, and he's going to be matching those orders. So I think we need some transparency on where the tranches will be set, because it's just creating another tranche similar to the tranches already currently exchanged. So I think it's important to see what rates the tranches will be set at to fill the orders that come in from hacked victims. Does that make sense too? I think we should have insight into that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I think it should go to like the lowest over the counter orders, or but yeah, definitely it's got to be transparency around it, and I agree 100%.
So I mean, people get to set their limit at the highest price. Like if they want their depegged USDC, they could set it for 98 cents, and then they just sit there until it gets filled. Or
Yeah, if that's what they wanted. But I mean, it could be a while before they go. It's going to be probably sitting there for quite a while.
Is there a max? Is there a max fill?
I'm sorry, what was that?
So, for example, so if somebody had, just say 10,001 USDC at the point of the hack, can that person say, I want to, $5 per one USDC? Is there a max fill? I guess is what I'm asking.
I mean, you can set a limit order to whatever you want, but whether it's successful to go through or not really is all that matters. Like, of course, an order like that would never go through. They're not going to get $2 per USD coin.
Yeah, definitely. Well, definitely having that verbiage probably should be something considered. That you could only like the maximum amount per respected asset, right? So if the objective was burning Bitcoin or something like, or receiving funds back from Bitcoin, it can only be a max 1-for-1. It can never go any higher, correct?
Those orders would never get filled.
Yeah, I follow. I'm probably thinking it a little bit too much. Peace, love.
Limit orders like makes it open, like you can put whatever you want in there. If you put something like that in, it would just never get filled. But I do think like where this this idea of having an exchange for just the hack victims, and where we know like how much each victim had before the hack, like I think it should be, we got to be able to keep track and make sure that they're only getting what they had before the hack filled and exchanged to get burned.
I mean, to me, it sounds really confusing. I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong or anything, but and then I guess it's hard for me to think that the way that it's going now is not effective because we've removed 25% of the depegged assets, in a bear market, with the one being, worth very, very little compared to when the hack was here. I just, how does this get better? Is this better because it's better for the victims? Is it better because there's going to be more participation somehow? Or how does this accelerate the recovery?
Well, here's my thought process behind it, is that it addresses the victims directly, like the people that were actually affected by the hack. This takes care of them directly, and it earns back trust from all these people that we lost trust from, and they're just like, yeah, we're making progress, but it's going really slow, and it's not really, in my eyes, it could be directed more towards the victims, that's all.
Sounds good. I mean, I don't know.
Is there?
I know. I know.
Well, my fault. Can I ask a question real quick about this?
Yep.
Is there? Does this have to be? You have to have like a pre-hack wallet address to be involved in this, or can this just be any active?
Yeah,
wallet?
it's only people that were holding the assets that had a specific amount of assets. It's targeted just for them, and that's it.
Okay.
Well, for the people that held the assets before the bridge hack,
So
and
anybody else that wanted to participate would just be, left out.
Well, they're not victims of the hack.
Yeah, understood. So, with the limited like engagement and activity, how do we how would we get that message out to them? I guess is what I would ask. Like
Yeah,
the
that's
the
one
pre
thing. Just we're asking the same. We're kind of saying the same thing. So I started the open recovery Telegram, and we're up to I think like 75 people. But I mean, where are all these quote unquote victims? I mean, is there like thousands of them somewhere, like just waiting to be have special treatment or something? I just don't see I've only see like maybe 75 to 100 people like active anywhere, and that's like really looking around for people.
Special treatment. I mean, I don't know where you're going there, but they're the actual victims of the hack. We have all their addresses. Like, we know who they are. I mean, if they're not going to participate, what's the point in
I mean, are they active? Are they
in the recovery in the first
Are they
place?
active?
What are we doing it
Are
for?
they active? Are you like talking with these people? Or I mean, that's all. I mean, it's great that we want to reach out, but I mean, are they really able to get a hold of? Are they still
They're
on
not
chain?
willing to get rid of
Oh,
their assets for what it is right now. That's all. That there's plenty of people out there.
okay.
I mean, you think DFK and all these projects aren't holding all kinds of assets that they're waiting for? Like, a lot of these people are projects that left, and this could be motivating them to come back.
Yeah, is there a way that we could reach out to these projects and maybe we can get them out of space and see that they could like see if they actually agree with exactly what you're saying too? Because I don't disagree with your idea, peace love. I think helping the victims is not a bad idea at all. Perhaps like getting these projects on that were here pre-hack, the glory days we can call it, and getting their feedback as well. It could help grow the community as well. You know what I mean?
All right. So I'm gonna see if we can move on a little bit because I was confused. I thought that Polymorpher had built the GMX thing. So if we can maybe have Theo kind of explain what that is, maybe this might be a way to kind of two birds with one stone type of situation potentially. I don't know. I'm interested to learn more. If you could teach us and educate us, Theo, appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. And then I'm also definitely down to jump in DMs to kind of continue working out and seeing what works best for prioritizing people who were affected by the hack. I think in the current kind of method of wallet attribution, I think there could be a little bit more work done in finding exactly, okay, these were the victims kind of pre-hack, and then trying to, I guess, identify them and starting with those, because I'm sure there's people who want to stay anonymous. But for GMX, so that's a perpetual DEX, perpetual exchange, which in the most simplistic way of explaining, that's just kind of your betting on where the price will go, whether it's going to go up or going to go down of an asset in the future. So you're changing, or you're kind of exchanging your investment. You're like, okay, I think Bitcoin's going to go up, and if it does, you make more than you would have if you just held Bitcoin. And then there's the risk that if it doesn't, you lose your entire investment. That's kind of in 20 seconds. That's probably it. I would highly recommend everybody, like, I mean, we always say do your own research. I think once you go into perpetuals and options, it's definitely a must to know what you're getting into beforehand. It's a fantastic way of kind of adding more leverage, which just means that you're trading with different margins, and you have access to more liquidity or more money than you actually have to deal with, which on the upside is amazing and on the downside is terrible. So it's kind of kind of even more Wild West in crypto. But I mean, a lot of people enjoy it. A lot of people choose it. I traded options before I got into crypto. I can also we can hash that out and go deep dive into my previous years if we want to. But so GMX is one of these platforms that allows users to do this. And currently we're kind of doing a deep dive network wide of a perpetual exchange or a perpetual DEX or something that might turn out to be potentially perpetual options, which is very new from a platform called Panoptic. I think I said that right, but again, very new stuff. And when we're doing this research, we also like to build and prototype and fork and kind of make sure that we're picking the best one. So that GMX is actually, that's a fork of GMX itself. But again, I would highly advise to wait until there's anything official from the Harmony Twitter. You don't want to have your assets locked in any way, and you don't want to lose anything. So make sure you wait until there's the official announcements. And then I think that also ties into your question a little bit of if swap.country and swap.harmony.one have the same securities. They do. It's the exact same backend, just the front end is different. It's just, I think actually front end is the same. It's just the hosting is on different URLs. Which like in my honest opinion does, you could point to that as being a kind of phishing risk and say if somebody does like .country or something, right, where it's not actually country, or maybe it's like, I don't know, there's no U or something, or there's no Y. And then all of a sudden you look at the front end's the same, you connect your wallet and your funds are gone. So that's something that's really important in crypto, is kind of making sure that the URL is safe, even though that the site might look exactly identical. Always good to kind of check again and make sure you're on the right page. But yeah, those are exactly the same. So in terms of why GMX, why these other ones, it's mostly just making sure that we fork it and that we kind of see how it works on Harmony, see where we can kind of tweak it to kind of mold to our chain and protocol better, and then making sure that we offer the best experience for the users. One thing I will say for the perpetual exchange or perpetual options that I'm more excited about than kind of previous dApps and things like that, kind of incubated internally, is the heavy emphasis on UI and UX. I think it's something that we haven't done yet, at least for the time that I've been there, or I've been here for, I don't know, I guess a year and a half now. And it's something that's now seen as a top priority and kind of pulling off of ties of Robinhood. And I don't know if any of you guys are on Robinhood or kind of that kind of nice UI UX where there's a lot of sophisticated things going on, but you don't really feel like it. Like the kind of the friction to your goal or your outcome is seamless. I think that's something that crypto could definitely benefit from. So yeah, that is not related to the recovery whatsoever, but it is in development.
Sorry, I was waiting for my mic. But so I mean, so could the limit orders that Peace and Love was talking about be integrated into this infrastructure so that it's kind of like one and the same instead of having multiple different things? Or I mean, could they be friends?
I would say, I guess some of the things, I mean, in crypto, everyone's friends. Like most things ideally are open source and you can fork them and there's interoperability. I would say for this, it's kind of, you could trade futures on recovery assets if you want. I mean, I personally wouldn't advise anything on that. Obviously I'm not a financial advisor or anything, so don't listen to me. But in terms of kind of having them paired off together, I think having it on an exchange in that way would still, you would distract from the reason of doing this, right? Like right now we are burning assets, right? Like in terms of especially Recovery One, right? Like burning more assets than we have been in the past. So the progress is continuing, but and again, Peace Love, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is more suggesting to prioritize the precise wallets that were affected by the hack. So all the pre-hack holders, some of them might not have been made full yet, or kind of have not gotten the opportunity to be recovered at either like 10% or anything. And this is kind of changing that so that, that like everyone is still able to participate in recovery. It's not like we're just shutting that off. Like that's still going to keep going. But this is an environment where we can see, okay, who are these pre-hacked wallets? Who are the active ones? And what are they willing to kind of be recovered at? Like what price can they be recovered at? And then you can have like the recovery multi-sig custodians, Recovery One, Polymorpher with Modulo. Then you can have kind of the source of because every trade you have to have, like even if you have a limit order, you have to have someone or an entity to actually file or kind of fulfill that limit order. So you have to have somebody on the opposite side who's like, yeah, I'll take this, like I'll take this side of the trade. So in this case, it would be kind of seeing and identifying these people who were affected by the hack, and kind of we can see their wallet with Chef Soy Sauce, kind of all his analytics and everything that he has. I think the dashboard is still up, which I highly suggest everyone look at to kind of keep track of everything recovery related. But this specific proposal is, again, prioritizing those wallets, prioritizing those either individuals, entities, they might be projects, they might not. Just kind of, we can see the wallets, right? And we can see what they owned and at what time they owned it. And it's just a matter of, okay, here's that wallet. Like we can say like it's, I don't know, like person A had like USDC post-hack or pre-hack, but hasn't been recovered yet. Can we identify this wallet? Okay, we can. Do we have, are they on Twitter? Are they on Telegram? Okay, we can message them, and you can go that manual route of, okay, we realize you're here. Are you still active? And like what would you want in terms of recovery, right? Like how much recovery are you willing to exchange, right? Like your limit. What is your limit of your value that you're willing to get rid of your tokens for? And then those tokens would get burned. So that's kind of how I see that process. And then having the exchange for that is that you can reduce the burden of, okay, let's everyone like fan out. Let's hunt these people down. Let's see who's still active and who's not. Having just an exchange out there where these wallets are checked means no one has to say anything. We already know the wallets, right? So if they are active, they'll put limit orders. If no one's active and there's no limit orders, then that also solves a problem. Like it's kind of either way of the thing, like creating that additional exchange, we'd be able to see, okay, these are the wallets that we know that should be recovered. These are the wallets that held the assets pre-hack, and it gives them a platform to list their limit orders.
Thank you so much for describing that so elegantly. You're such a good speaker, Theo. Thank you.
Yeah, I have to concur, Theo. That was good. I was kind of tightened up on a lot of loose ends there, man. Appreciate it.
Completely. Theo's amazing, to say the least. We got a lot further than I was expecting really quick there, so that's fantastic. One more really, I guess, a quick one here. So I can't remember who asked if it was Meta One class or Sam from Calliope, but who made the current Explorer? Do you know? Does anybody know?
I believe that was so I think that was internal, and I think the specific devs would be Yuri and Artem. So quick shout out to them. They're amazing and they do excellent work. They've been with Harmony for a while, and then I think most likely Yuri probably did the back end and Artem did the front end. But again, they're amazing, so they probably helped each other out on different things as well. And then the new one, I think, which is very, very close to mainnet. I'm watching those chats very closely from Protofire. Is going to be Block Scout, and that should be out very, very soon. The most recent DM in that group is let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, it talks about that they're close to pushing to mainnet, but they just have a little bit of dependencies that they want to make sure that there's no errors with before they make that push. So should be soon, but again, I feel like with BlockScout and a lot of these developments, we can always say soon, soon, soon. You know, it's kind of a Web3 motto at this point. But I would give it another week or two. I think on the positive side, they're doing
don't say 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. But I will say that the due diligence from the Protofire team is excellent. I think a lot of times in Web3 or even in any company, like you might rush to release something. And on one hand, you can say you released it, but on the other hand, you rushed and things might not work, or, you know, like there could be issues. But in terms of their development team, they're doing an excellent job. So just hoping we can get that out soon and then make some big announcements for it.
Awesome. Yeah, I love Protofire. I still need to learn how to either, I don't know if I need to create an LP through the multisig, like do the transaction through the multisig to be able to make LPs in the V3 DEX. I really want to learn. I don't know if I need to go do YouTubes or what, but I was happy to. That's another reason why I was happy to end the LBI stuff, is because I'm kind of responsible for the Harmonauts swap.country funds and the CryptoLand DAO funds on the initial stuff. So I'd rather not be responsible. I mean, I want to like reach out to Affirmation and be like, you know, this is my address and stuff in case I pass or whatever. You know, I mean, you know. I mean, you don't know. I mean, I just want to learn how to do it. So, I mean, it's not like you can just go to Dex Screener and it creates the contract and you send that to the multisig. So, I don't know I think you might be able to just take the two assets and make the LP through the multisig somehow. So, I don't know how I got going there, but I did. So, anyway, a couple more quickie ones here. Any progress on reaching out to CoinGecko or CMC to get swap.harmony.1 to not be like unknown listed on the Dex Screener? And also, Theo, if you could talk about any of the OpenOcean aggregator stuff, if there's any new developments besides the stuff that's been on X.
Yeah, so first with CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, yesterday I submitted a form for CoinGecko for Harmony to be listed as a layer 1, which is, I don't know, surprising that, you know, 6 years 6 years down the road, it's not included in that category. So hopefully we can get that in. And then today I did the CoinMarketCap one as well, so that if anybody looks up kind of competing layer 1s, they can see Harmony there, which is, on one hand, it's frustrating, but on the other, it's like, wow, like Harmony is that good of a layer 1 that people think it's a layer 2. And for those of you that don't know the difference, I would say to read up a little bit. I would try to explain it and say, like, okay, layer 1 handles its own settlement, and then layer 2 is kind of a scalability solution, where the settlement is not done on their own chain and does it on the L1. I think that's very quick, and there's words like settlement that might be a bit more difficult, but in terms of a high level overview, that's the separation. But again, layer 1s are commonly known to have scaling issues and high gas fees and a lot of this that Harmony doesn't have, so much to the point that they think Harmony is a layer 2, which is, I think that's pretty cool. But again, when we're a layer 1 and we're not listed as a layer 1, it can be frustrating. The other question was on OpenOcean. So OpenOcean and getting kind of on an aggregator for swap is a must. Like in terms of the cross-chain narratives and volume, everything. I was speaking to Dave from Swoop today. We went back and forth and kind of plan for Harmony in terms of volume and expansion and getting back to kind of the height of Harmony where we were, where a lot of that kind of bootstrap was from Sushi Swap, right? Sushi Swap with about like $1 million in liquidity. And when you have these bootstraps with significant liquidity, it can boost your chain up tremendously, and new users can be exposed, and that's one avenue. And now the question is, okay, what do we have at our disposal? How do we get back up to that point without necessarily just throwing millions everywhere? So that's something that he and I went back and forth on. And kind of the trajectory of getting, okay, you start with OpenOcean, so that at the very least, like the highest liquid kind of DEX that we have currently in terms of Uniswap v3 is Swap, right? Like I think, Eric, you always mention that Sushi doesn't support Harmony v3, which it doesn't. So kind of what are the like loopholes, or how do you continue to have a DeFi and decentralized exchange? Well, you can fork it and you build it up on your own and everything. So now we have Swap. So in terms of OpenOcean, that's making sure that they have the right contracts, endpoints, and whatever they need, because they're an aggregator. So they just take in all these different DEXs, and then they allow you to pretty much just exchange, either cross-chain or whatever you want. You can use Swoop if you want, and then you can have your, Arbitrum ETH, for example, and then you can swap it for Harmony One. That uses the liquidity from Swap. So it's kind of like these are, I guess, musts. Like these are givens, right? These are, if you want to have significant volume, you need to have significant users and either backing or just be able to go cross chain. Because the reality of the situation, there's a lot of people in crypto, but not necessarily a lot of people in certain cryptos, right? And I mean that you can dive deeper and say, like, okay, that's a narrative on investment analysis where you'd say, okay, if there's not that many people now, there might be a lot more later, therefore this is a good investment, and all that stuff. Again, right, none of this is financial advice, but in terms of OpenOcean, so we just sent them the contracts that they asked for, and now it's on their end to come back to us and say, okay, we need this as well, or this detail, or can you write a paragraph about this and whatnot. But usually once you have the endpoints or anything, it's usually smooth sailing, because a lot of this is just making sure the connections work well. And then another one, shortly, I think, hopefully by the end of today, I'll be able to send them a DM, is Stargate. And Stargate is Layer Zero's kind of premier DeFi bridge. Currently we use a kind of modification of Harmony Bridge plus Layer Zero. So in terms of Stargate, that would get us to be able to easily integrate with bridge aggregators. So now you again, right, you have this like notion of a crypto, and then its volume and exchange and all of that is you could put it into a calculation of like the amount of friction it has for the average user to get there. And if you're on, let's say Ethereum, the only way that you can get to Harmony is through bridging, and then for that you have Layer Zero, and then I think ChainSpot added theirs. So now you're adding more and more of these bridges and aggregators. So what you're doing is you're taking away more and more of that friction. And as you take more and more of that friction out of the way, it opens the gates for more and more people. So let me go back to your question real quick. So you asked what the progress on OpenOcean is. So that's it. So we sent them the contracts, and we'll wait to hear back from them. And then today I'll send out a DM to Stargate and the Layer Zero team to see what we need to do on our end. But we have a good relationship with Layer Zero. We've had that for a while. So should be good.
And you've really been busy. I want to say we had talked about some metrics, like, I don't know, it was probably almost a year ago. I thought OpenOcean wanted, I don't know if it was a certain amount of volume or liquidity or transactions or something like that. I don't know if that is that still a thing, or is that, or maybe we crossed some of those things off the list, or is it just a matter of getting the contracts to them?
Yeah, so I think we'll see. I mean, who knows? They could we send them the contracts, and they could come back to us and say, oh, this doesn't meet this, and this criteria. But at least it gives us at least more information and more of a headspace of knowing what needs to get done. But Harmony itself is already integrated in OpenOcean, so kind of the hard part is done, right? All the endpoints, RPCs, all the stuff you need to kind of run a certain chain on an aggregator is out of the way, which is honestly probably a lot more time consuming than getting just a certain DEX, because once you have the chain itself, like, the other things are just another set of endpoints and whatnot. But yeah, they'll verify the contracts, make sure everything is in order, and then we'll see. But yeah, the good news is Harmony is already on OpenOcean. We just have to make sure that, I mean, it makes sense. You have a flagship DEX. You want to have it listed in an aggregator, and you want everybody from any chain to be able to access it. And then you bring more volume and users and transactions and everything to the base chain.
And I want to say, I'm definitely lacking knowledge here, but if you have the DEX that is recognized by CMC and CoinGecko, then maybe getting the coins recognized might be easier too. I would hope, kind of switching back and forth on these two things. I know whenever I went to get Hog recognized, I think it went to SushiSwap because it recognized a token that was over there. But I don't know if that's coincidence or related or not, but I would hope so. Anybody have any more DeFi talk?
Yeah, I kind of been running into an ongoing dilemma. I've been in a conversation with Protofire. I don't know if you've seen the conversation, Theo, or not. I think Tenacious DeFi may have. Just with between Swap and Lend, it seems like they're pulling from different oracles. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I have quite a bit of dialogue between myself and Protofire on exactly what I'm seeing. I don't know who from the Harmony protocol, if it is you, Phil, that recognizes or not recognizes, that addresses those issues, or if it's Protofire. Protofire just seems, when I bring these messages up, they're like a medium.
If it's platform specific, it would be Protofire. But then I mean, I could always be an advocate, I guess, to help out as well. So in terms of what I know is that with Swap, so Swap doesn't need oracles, and it's kind of the pools itself of people exchanging, and you have different sides of the pools and how much people want to pay for assets. Those don't need oracles. But then on Lend, I believe you do. Because again, right, it's just the asset itself, and then you're engaged in different contracts, and you're locking up an asset, and if that asset changes price, then obviously what you're lending out is going to change in value. So that's something that we want to make sure that has an oracle to tie to, so that you don't all of a sudden, your whatever amount that you lend or borrow doesn't just change dramatically. That's kind of the issues that happened all the way back with Aave and different things like that, where the kind of pricing of the asset changed drastically, and now whatever you were borrowing or whatever you were lending just changed astronomically.
Yeah. That's kind of the explanation I got. I didn't really fully understand it. They sent me white paper, I believe, what was for swap, explaining kind of what you explained is that it doesn't pull from an oracle, which doesn't really make sense to me because I don't understand really how we get the swap price unless it's just what somebody's willing to pay. But so just the specific dilemma I ran into was when I was trying to pull from Lend, like hedging against, let's just say like Ethereum or something. Let's just say one, as a matter of fact, that makes it easier. When I pulled from Lend to like hedge against it, so I say that I think the price of one is going to go down. So I borrow against one, then I take that one, swap it for one USDT, and then add it into Lend, but I'm already at like a 13% loss from the inception of the event. So you don't have to go 13%, have to drop 13% or more just to be profitable. So one of the
Is it a
intents that
is it a liquidity issue? Sorry, is it a liquidity issue maybe? Or
I don't know, honestly. I'm trying to like really wrap my head around between how swap and lend interact with each other. But so when I pulled it from swap, the price that I owe $2.19, like 101 would be worth $2.19. But when I pulled it from Lend, I'm sorry, let me make sure I get my facts here. When I pulled like 101 from Lend, the price of 101 was $2.19. But when I tried to swap it on swap for one USDC, it gave me like $1.90. So yeah, you're already at like a like a 13% loss at the swap. Then you have to hope that it drops 13% or more for that to be beneficial. You know what I mean?
also on there, I think I've showed you on the swap decks there that little toggle on the top.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, maybe.
I'll have to. I mean, it should be like there should be like yellow, like neon stuff pointing to it because it makes hella difference. Sometimes it just it gives the route of where the liquidity is going to go through. So sometimes you might have a minus 12% liquidity in the wrong way, but if you switch that switch, you might have 25% in your favor. So it goes both ways. So we can do a screen share, but I did it on my. You just watched my CryptoLand video there. We've only put two of them out. It has a little switch on there, but it's super. So with that DEX to refresh and to do that little toggle on every swap, it can save thousands.
All right.
The slippage as well. Yeah, and exactly like Eric was saying, liquidity plays a big part in that. I will say for Lend, you'd think like the names are so clear that we wouldn't mix them up. But so with Lend, the utilization, I don't know what it is now, but the utilization last time we had this talk was at 99%. And with a lot of these things, like, if everything is being borrowed, right, like you can't really, you can't pull out, right? Like all the money is being utilized, which on one hand is really good because the platform is being utilized 99%, which is insane. But on the other hand, you might have people who want to get out of their kind of positions and everything. And they want access to that liquidity again. So that's something where I think we talked about it last time, that we want to make sure that maybe the Harmony Core team or somebody can jump in and bootstrap that kind of liquidity as well. But before that needs to happen, we need to go in and check across the board, kind of, okay, we added liquidity to swap. How did that turn out? What are the projections going forward with like X amount of liquidity? Okay. And then we can look at Lend and then do the same. And that is being done in the process, but it's also, we're preparing. I don't know if you guys have kept up with, there's a lot of like Harmony.1/ and then there's like honestly like an endless ocean of documents, but I think the most recent one is Harmony.1/Oracle. Wait, no, not Oracle. And there's a video on that. Wow. So there is an endless ocean. Holy. Harmony.1. Let me look it up just so I make sure I send you guys to the right place. And I think it's called Options. Yeah, Options. And then, so here you have kind of an overview, but in terms of kind of volume and everything in bootstrapping, that we're looking into perpetual, and we want to make sure that that's the same thing, right? That we're obviously like hoping that a lot of people will want to use it, and that like it'll bring perpetual exchanges and options and a really nice UI and UX for first Harmony users, and then you can branch out afterwards. But for that to happen again, right? Same with anything, you need a lot of liquidity and a lot of volume. So that's something that we're also making sure that we have the right calculations on, and have it kind of across the board for kind of DeFi 2.0.
That get you affirmation?
Yeah. And if you ever get an opportunity, you should really pop in and look at the Protofire messages I put in there. Some interesting things going on in the land at the moment. But yeah, thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, I need to get over there too for another reason. Yeah, maybe we can get on a screen share and you can share what you learned about Lend, and I'll share what I've learned about swapping. So
let's do it soon.
And yeah, I don't know. We got to learn how to make the LPs and the multi-sig. It's on the short list. Cool. I think we're DeFi really good on DeFi. One Bull's been hanging out here for a long time. I just wanted to let him have opportunity to talk about an event that's coming up there pretty soon. Harmony Accountant has been reposting it. It's also on the Google document, and hopefully we have. I think we have quite a bit more time to be able to share and learn more about it, and hopefully people can get over there. I don't know if the Harmony team's going, or but I'm gonna hand it over to you, One Bull, if you just want to kind of give us a explanation about what's going on over there. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. So I want to share about the CoinFest Asia that we have. The event in August. So we have partnership with CoinFest Asia in the last 3 years as a community partner. If you haven't heard about the CoinFest Asia by CoinFest Asia Immersive Web3 Festival converts Web2 and Web3 industry to explore their world insight and valuable connection through an immersive festival experience. And we have some benefit from this event. In the last 3 years, we have visibility to brand recognition as a Harmony One and attract more wider audience. And then also networking. There's so many speakers and such as I think on August there will be Justin Sun from Tron, and so many co-founder from project like Aptos, Anomika Brand, and Manta Network will be a speaker on the event. And yeah, I think we want to try to be Harmony to be a leader in innovation and share it on the event and attract more wider audience on the event. And we hope it's related to our grant proposal and R1 ambassador as well, that maybe it can be a regular event as we can from the grant proposal we can have a side event on like this big event, so we can have more people connection to build Harmony One in Asia. I think that's all from me about the CoinFest Asia, and the coming soon in June I will have a talk with Toko Crypto, support by Binance. Is central centralized exchanger in Indonesia. We will have we invite by the community lead by Toko Crypto to talk about the update of the Harmony One. And then I have also designed some class for the NFT concert, pure NFT artists as well in Indonesia. to share about the crypto, blockchain, and then Harmony One as well. So I think that's my update for now. Thank you. Please.
Awesome. Thanks for coming, One Bowl. Thanks for explaining it. And I think we have what? So real quick, in June is the talk with the BNB and the centralized exchange.
Yeah, we invite by Toko Crypto. It's the centralized exchange called Toko Crypto, support by Binance, and we will talk about the update for on Harmony One.
Awesome. All right. Well, just keep sharing with us, and let's get the word out. And I don't know, it'd be cool if some Harmony family could get over there too. Some other Harmony family. Super awesome. I know we had talked about having Recovery One Ambassadors AMA. I don't know if we wanted to try to get that lined out today, if possible. I mean, we normally meet, the R1 ambassadors meet on Sundays anyway. It was my idea for a quick scheduling, just to know that we can make it, would be to keep it the same time, either like this Sunday or the following Sunday, or because if that works for you guys, or if not, we can plan it out. And I just figured if we could do it now, then we could save a lot of typing and chatting and DMs and stuff.
Sounds like crickets. Are you talking about the actual AMA or just another meeting?
Well, Matt Barrett wanted to. We got the post out right before the meeting, or before the one show. We're talking about it now. It's on Talk.Harmony One. It's on the Google Doc.
Mm-hmm.
We also wanted to just make ourselves available if there are people that want to just come ask, just specifically, just have a show about that. I think Matt wanted to have it on X. I mean, I like having things on X because it's accountability. Again, it's recorded. People can come at their convenience, or if they want to, if it is convenient for them, they can be interactive. So, just wanted to see. I know that the time, like I said, all of the R1 ambassadors could be there at that time. That's why I just suggested that it could either be on any Sunday at I think it's 2 p.m. UTC.
Mm-hmm. For me, that time frame for 2 p.m. UTC, as long as it's limited to, not a hours long conversation, is not a problem for me. Or even earlier works better for me.
Matt, One Bowl. So yeah, I guess we'll just keep it open.
We'll keep the chat going.
Yeah, we've been there before. That's cool. So we'll just chat it out and figure it out. And I mean, if we need to, we can make some cool banners about it. I guess we can also see feedback on the Talk.Harmony One and see where that's going, and pinpoint who we would like to get in the conversation, or if they have a specific time that they'd want to meet up, or any of that kind of stuff. So I think we're pretty good. We're at hour and a half. There's some other stuff that can just keep rolling over. I mean, some of this stuff we just have to keep hitting on it, in my opinion. And does anybody else have any words of wisdom, thoughts, positives, requests for the one show, crypto stuff related? Any kind of closing thoughts? Anybody?
Yeah, I think I have one for the CoinFest Asia, Eric. Let's meet in Bali and join CoinFest Asia as a Harmony community in August.
I wish I could afford to get out there. Maybe next year if things go good. Is it a yearly event?
Sorry?
Do they do the CoinFest like same time every year? Same place?
Yeah. The place is always in Bali, but the spot is, the location is always changes every year, but it's always in Bali.
So you come to ETH Denver, and then I'll come there next year.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Completely appreciate you guys. Again, the Google document is recycled, so if you grab the link, just kind of file it somewhere, and it gets updated in between these shows. They're every 2 weeks. I have my mom's coming up sometime this summer, so I might just push one and have a little summer break. But they're basically same time every 2 weeks. Stay tuned. I appreciate everybody sharing the one shows, getting the word out, and I appreciate everybody that contributed here and everybody that's going to listen in the future. And I think we'll hopefully have a YouTube out sometime this week on the Harmony account probably. And awesome information. And yeah, just hit us up or hit anybody up for topics or whatever you might have concerns of or whatever. Reach out. I think most of us are pretty darn available. So appreciate you guys, and we'll see you at the next one.